Hi, this is Sibonelo Cele. I'm an MMM guide in Durban. I'm here to do a presentation in UMLAZI AA at the library on the 22nd of July. The presentation was funded for the 14th of July, but the funds were delayed, so we can only do it today. Thank you. Sanibona. Njani? Right. So igama lami nguSibonelo Cele, i-guide kaTriple M. So ngizela namhlanje ngizonichazela ukuthi uTriple M usebenza kanjani. So uTriple M nababathathi bamele uMlAZI Mondial. So uMlAZI isibongo se-founder kaTriple M uSergey uMlAZI. And then uMondial usho into e-global bese ukuthi movement sonke siyazi. So Triple M was founded in 2011 by Sergey uMlAZI, but this is the version of Triple M okhona manje osebenza ngalendlela osebenza ngayo i-peer-to-peer system. In 1989 originally it was founded and kwakuyikhampani kwakuthenga amathikithi namathikithi anyuka ivelu bese wadayisa e-trade njenge-stock. But then waboshwa-ke umnikazi wawo ngenxa yokuthi imali yayiseningi kakhulu ayayithola and he couldn't pay taxes fast enough. So waboshelwa i-tax evasion. Because by the end of the first year, a quarter of the whole cash circulation in Russia was in his hands because the money yayihlala. So Triple M right now has 150 million members in 150 countries. South Africa, as of May, and the start of freeze, about 2 million. South Africa was in February 2015. But in a year, by the end of the last year, there were 1 million people. But between December and May, what about 1 million. So how does Triple M work? So I think firstly, in the balekile umehluko ukuhlukanisa phakathi kwa Triple M nebhanoyi. Right. So this thing kuthiwa ibhanoyi. Sonke siyawazi ibhanoyi, yabo. Faka imali and then uphela inyanga times 2, times 3, times 4. Sazi amanye uyifaka namhlanje kusasa times 2, after 3 days times 2. Now umehluko ukuthi in a traditional bhanoyi imali yonke iya ku central account. And the central account iyona ethi mengabe sekuneyinkinga ifreeze or umuntu athathe yonke imali ayifake esuitcase-ini angeningizini ahambe nemali yabantu. But the thing is that Triple M is a peer-to-peer system. So imali isuka kumina iya kuwena, isuka kuwena iya kumina. Akukho la ihlala khona yabo. So into eyenzekayo ukuthi wena uzofika usho ukuthi ngisifiso sokunikela let's say 1,000. Then 1,000 lakho sushi ukuthi nesifiso sokunikela ngalo. Then i-system izokallocateela umuntu okuzothi ahamba ofakela yena 1,000 lakho. Usumfakelile 1,000 lakho, after 30 days izobe sine-interest ya 30%. Then omunye umuntu naye benesifiso sokunikela, then yena uzofike azofakela wena. So that's how it works. So one question a lot of people always ask ukuthi 30% imali. So to clarify, 30% are coming down. It's imali esuke ikubani. Because if mina ngizopha wena 100 rand and then mina sifuna ngisuke 30% wami, then into ezokwenzeka ukuthi umuntu ozofaka naye uzothiwa akangiku 100 omunye anginikeze 30. So hayi ukuthi kukhona mhlawumbe some magical rainbow or golden pots la ephuma khona 30% no. Imali ecirculates amongst ama-members. Which is why if our members at Triple M participate, then we will have inking. So the other problem is that I'll take questions when I'm done. Okay. The other problem with Triple M is the lack of a physical office space. So abantu banalento siyabo sifuna ukwazi ama-office nama-headquarters ukuthi msethi imali zezinyamalele siyokhala kubani nani. So unfortunately, 2016 manje abona 1986, yabo. So we live in the age of technology. Everything is in the cloud. So this is what your office looks like. This is a personal office. You have access to this on your phone, tablets, laptop, whatever, as long as you're on the internet. Aliko in your office or at all. This is it. So when on the total control, if you also start the password, yako, you know when to set the control. So in this personal office is where you control everything from, like this is your dashboard, this is what it looks like. And then participants, if we guide, lottery, I should tell you about that just now. And then what accounts is like for our bank details are. So if you want to nigga and man, you press for like the green button. If you want to keep up, press the orange. The who gets the orange button. So in lottery, every Wednesday people win stuff. When I want to buy now $300. So far, I don't say why buy my own game. So unlike it also the that are a million. Lots of them finally match a number as 6 but each number is only from 0 to 9. So I was with 10, 11, 14, it's either 0, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 up to 9. Marvel is the internal currency of the system. So because every country has its own currency, we have the Rand, Botswana, Nepal, Zimbabwe, they had a currency, in the system, to make sure everyone can communicate and exchange their money with ease. The system is a currency. So no matter which country you are from, unit or a currency in the system becomes marvel. So most of South Africa, 1 rand is 1 marvel. If you're in the States, $1 is 1 marvel. Which is why it's not advised in exchange with people in other countries. Because $100 no 100 rands are willing high. But 100 marvel and 100 marvel in the system is exactly the same. So eventually what happens, if you send me $100, meaning I will sold 100 marvel, but you expect $200 back, which is 1,500. So it creates chaos, basically. So your money starts growing the second that you say you want to put it in. So if on the first of the month, so the other thing about AAA would say you don't put in the money instantly. So when you say if you have 1,000, then the system will start counting with 1,000 where I know. But imagine it was a depositor to someone else in about a month. So now the start cool and then when you're done depositing the money, then that's when you can withdraw the money, and that's after 30 days. Okay. So the system actually gives you 1% growth a day. It's compound. So 30% is theoretical. It's a little more. And every month, at the beginning, 1 month from the day you first put in the money, you like 30% promotion. So if it was 5,000, it's not going to be 1,600 after 2 months. It's going to be 1,300 after the first month, and it's going to add 30% or 1,300, which is 390 for the second month, which is why it goes so fast. Okay, so yeah, we know the benefits, 30%, etc. And then there are registration bonuses. So when you register for the first time, rather when you contribute for the first time, if ufake imali between $50 and $500, which is around $750, then you get given $20 on top into your personal office as a welcome bonus sort of thing. So as you can see, the more money that you deposit, 500 to 3K, then the bigger the bonus. It's either $20, $50 or $100. And that money gets credited to your personal office, and now you're cooler every month. Then there are also referral bonuses. This is the thing that drives people to get people to join UMLAZI. Because the thing about it is, though, UMLAZI, you don't have to refer anyone, or you don't have to bring people in. It's an optional thing. There are lots of people who made millions with just growing their 30% per share, then they leave the recruiting to the guiders. But basically, if you recruit people, then 10% of what they deposit goes to you, but not from their money. It's money that you get credited by the system. So if you recruit someone, and this is how a lot of people made money last year, in fact, where you told you now 1,000, but then they recruit someone also for 20,000, then they get given 2,000. So suddenly they have 3,000. Then they recruit another person for 50,000, then they get 5,000. And I mean, it really motivates people to grow the community. And everyone qualifies for this. You don't have to do training or whatever for this. But you do have to do a 10-day online school to do what I'm doing, become a guider. So a guider is basically that someone who guides members into the system. So we as guiders have privileged information about what happens behind the scenes, because there are meetings twice a week with guiders all over the country, and a guy called Andrew Mark, who is basically the project manager, so to speak, of the South African wing of UMLAZI. So we meet every week and we discuss the future and how things are looking, what are the problems, how to address some issues, and. Other than that, we also have the responsibility to do this and go into the communities and spread the word of UMLAZI and tell the people the truth, especially after what happened with the media in the beginning of the year. So there's a lot of things flying around about UMLAZI which are misguiding people. And then there's also the big guider incentive, which is this thing. So this is the only pyramid aspect of UMLAZI. Okay? So how this works is the green guy there at the top, that's me. Right? And then these two guys here are people that I join, that join under me directly. So I need to remember I told you, so you get 10% for Umuntu join our account swap. But if you become a guide, not only do you get to 10% for that person, but if they get someone to recruit, they get 10% and you get 5% of what the second person contributes. And then if the OSP deny and recruit someone else, then you get 3% from the own. If they recruit someone else, then you get 1%. And it goes on and it just keeps shrinking. Doesn't go on to infinity, but it goes on for a very long way until you're eventually getting like 10 cents per 10,000 rands and that. But bear in mind, this is for every single person who is under you. For instance, who Andrew Mark has the whole country under him. He's got 2 million people in South Africa alone under him, because he's basically our guider as a country. So now if you go into your community and you told you the 100,000 people in your community, born and join under you, then you'll be getting these little bonuses for the entire 100,000 people. And that's like one of the biggest guider incentives that UMLAZI actually offers. There are rules, very strict rules. Okay? First one is you can't have multiple accounts. So a lot of people try their, you see, I'm a bank account out 3 in different banks, they have 3 different phone numbers, they have 3 different accounts in UMLAZI. And most people don't understand why, but you can cycle in money. You can use the same amount of money through all 3 accounts and get 30% about 3 in the same month if you have multiple accounts, which is greedy, and UMLAZI doesn't really associate with greed. Second, you can't share your email login or bank details with anyone. So you cannot have, like, we can't share a bank account just because we're sisters, brothers, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever. Your details are your details. And then do not delay in paying your orders. When you are given an order and you need to go deposit money for someone, you get 72 hours. Do not delay. Because if you don't pay, then you get blocked from the system. Okay? And then if you're going to be doing a withdrawal, don't edit the information in your personal office, because it takes up to 15 days for the information to be verified. And then do not refuse to pay. There's a button that says I refuse to pay. If you click it more than once in a month, you get blocked. Do not make deposits and fail to attach a proof of payment. So if you deposit money to someone's account, you have to attach a proof that you actually deposited the money. And then do not fail to confirm as well. So if someone attaches a proof of payment to say they've paid you, do not fail to say yes, you've been paid. Because again, that breaks the trust that we have. And then do not let family downliners make PHs bigger than you. So if you have Umuntu, who is, let's say, your mother, and you let them join UMLAZI, you mustn't let them make bigger contributions than you, because that is actually viewed as a form of greed, in the sense that if your mother deposits 100,000 and when you've only deposited 1,000, 10,000 rand is going to be given to you as a referral bonus. So in the system, it kind of looks like you guys as a family are trying to beat the system. You're trying to keep all the money floating around in your home. Okay. And then bank accounts and email addresses must be in your own name. So as much as the UMLAZI may not be a company or a registered organization, there are a lot of people that work at UMLAZI, and there's a department called support. And who support, looks at these kind of things. If you actually use false information, you will be caught, everything will be frozen, and you will not be able to access your account. And if you get blocked, you cannot access your account until you get unblocked by support, which can take weeks, sometimes months. Okay, and then finally, there are risks. As with everything, there are risks. As we all saw on the 1st of May 2016, there are risks. Always use your spare money. Don't take imali yakho yokugcina uyifake kaShukulelo, because anything can happen. And we saw what happened in May when people's accounts got frozen because of the panic. And panics happen. Every single country that has Chukulelo has been through what happened here in May. And they all recovered just like we are recovering now. Slowly but surely the system is getting better. Thank you. I will take some.